Dave and everybody at Kingsley Smith in Wellington for letting me run riot in their shop. Thanks a lot. While the Pet Shop Boys aren't taking any risks with their first ever concert, commercial success has come their way without the boys even having to put a foot on stage. And they're going to every extreme to ensure that nothing goes wrong when the curtain finally rises. They've hired the very best support team. They've got director Derek Jarman to make a special 45-minute film for the show, and the backing band includes jazz saxman Courtney Pine.
Right. Time for another music benefit single when musicians rally together in the name of something. Called Spirit of the Forest, the worthy cause this time is the plight of the rainforest. Amongst the contributors are Kate Bush, Iggy Pop, LL Cool J, Debbie Harry, the Ramones and Pink Floyd.
Quite a lineup there. Freddie Mercury's fellow bandmates are furious with him because he won't tour to promote Queen's latest album, The Miracle. Says 42-year-old Freddie, I think I'm a bit too old to be running around on stage in a leotard.
INPA, which stands for the Independent Musicians, Producers and Performers Association, are an organisation set up to assist and promote independent New Zealand music labels and performers. INPA formed shortly after the Kiwi Music Convention of '87 and mark background for current state of play.
What has happened since the Kiwi Music Convention 2 years ago? Has anything changed? The New Zealand Music Promotions Committee still holds bi-monthly meetings, but we see and hear very little of what they're actually doing. Now, a well-known defector from the committee, recording studio and independent record label manager Glenn Tucker, is one of the people involved in another organisation set up to help the New Zealand music industry, INPA, the Independent Music Producers and Performers Association.
I think every association or business group needs their own association to look after their own individual needs and problems. They can have a forum where they can express and share their ideas for the common goal, and in this case the common goal is promoting New Zealand music. Although we do have in place Recording Industry Association of New Zealand, RIANZ, and also the New Zealand Music Promotions Committee, they don't always see everything from the same point of view as an independent New Zealand record company that has to survive on New Zealand music alone. So we feel that there really is a need to get together with RIANZ and hopefully get a little more action happening for the independent performer and independent record producer.
INPA holds monthly meetings in Auckland, open to all supporters of Kiwi music. It started a database containing useful details of all sorts of people involved in the local music scene. While the association has specific issues it's involved in, such as blank tape levies and television and radio quotas, much of its function is to offer support and advice, and to get the New Zealand music industry communicating within itself and united in its efforts.
Because people who are in the industry, I regard the performers in the industry, are having such a tough time trying to keep it together to work and perform, they don't have the energy. We don't have the energy as a group to get together and try and get things happening. So INPA is a way of trying to organise that. The music scene's very scattered because there are a lot of us trying hard to work and trying hard to be seen, but this is the first time that a group of us have actually got together and amalgamated with the producers as well as performers and producers getting together to achieve something in the industry.
But in the end, can INPA be any different than any other paper-shuffling organisation of people set up to save the New Zealand music industry?
I feel that it can, because as far as I'm concerned, it's the first time that performers have been able to get together with producers to actually voice their opinions and say what they want. And after all, it's the performers who have the most effect in the industry because people come to see them. And without that people coming to see them, then there would be no industry.
I always think that it's probably better...
But isn't the problem in New Zealand just purely that the country's population is too small?
I think that that's very negative. I think what this country needs is a far more positive approach than that. And we don't have to be geniuses to look overseas and look at examples where small countries have done extremely well in the New Zealand recording market, in the world record market. The best example is probably ABBA from Sweden. They only have around 6 million population, and yet they've earned millions of dollars of funds, whatever the currency is in Sweden, for they're bigger than Volvo. That's one example. U2 that came from Ireland are just two examples of how it can be done. The problem in New Zealand is that we've tended to export our talent primarily to Australia. When we look back a few years, we've got MySex, Dragon, Sharon O'Neill, Split Ends, more recently Neil Finn. Now, we put all of those people together, Jimmy Morris, another one, put them all together, they're earning a lot of money internationally, but that money's not coming to New Zealand.
And if you want to become a member of IMPA, please send $14.95, the price of an album, to PO Box 68593 Auckland, and you'll be doing something positive for the New Zealand music scene.
The 60s really are back in fashion. Last week we heard about Woodstock, and this week it's the turn of that other series of infamous concerts, the Monterey Pop Festival.
Now, student radio stations up and down the country are all going to be broadcasting a Monterey music special at the same time.
So for a blast from the past, tune into your nearest student radio station on Friday, June the 30th from 4 till 7 p.m, Saturday, July the 1st from 4 till 7 p.m, and Sunday, July the 2nd from 4 till 7 p.m.
And you can hear everything from the Grateful Dead to the Byrds, from Otis Redding to the immortal Jimi Hendrix.
Off the radio tape, here's 60s music from Scott McKenzie.